Well, hey world, this is John Burton and Mary Marshall.
Hi.
We are with, of course, Emerald Staffing, and this is our first episode of Happily Placed. God, Mary, welcome.
Thank you.
Gosh, this is so great.
It's exciting. I like this.
I kind of feel like we're a little NPR-ish right now, but that's okay. So, we wanted to put together a video, kind of a video blog for our YouTube channel that talks about, things that you and I have talked about. I mean, God, we have candidates come in every day. I mean, how long have you been in the staffing business now?
5 years. God, 5 years now.
Seems like yesterday.
I know.
It's amazing.
I know.
God, well, I started in 1985.
Wild.
So 5+ years.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just a few years.
Uh-huh.
So we, combined, we've experienced a lot of client needs, a lot of candidate needs. We've launched a lot of careers, right. And as a result, we just kind of felt we had some information to share.
Yeah.
So our first episode,
Happily Placed.
Happily Placed.
And what else?
I just graduated from college. I don't want to live in my parents' basement forever.
What do I do?
I need a job. What do I do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
So we want to talk about tips on, what we could do or what you could do, as a recent grad to find the right job, find that career path that's best for you.
Exactly. What are your thoughts on on-campus interviews as a practice?
I think it's good practice.
Yep.
Getting to know companies in the area.
I agree. And it takes the pressure off. So for all of you that are ready to graduate, the nice thing about an on-campus interview is you could have one, completely blow it,
right,
learn from it, and then take what you've learned and kind of apply it to the next interview.
Sure.
Whether it's a job you want or don't want, that's kind of irrelevant. I mean, it's just about
getting yourself out there.
Getting yourself out there.
Getting comfortable.
More reps.
Right.
The more practice you have, the easier it is when you actually get into an interview that you kind of want.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So what? Gosh, Mary. So you interview a lot of recent college grads and college grads in general.
Right.
I have a lot of friends that have gone back to college in their 40s who are still recent college graduates.
Sure.
So it's an interesting time we live in. Where education is just available, which is great.
Yeah.
So what do you think the biggest mistake is? Somebody comes into the office and what do you see?
I see great candidates all day, every day. A lot of good people come in through the doors, and I think the first thing that you should focus on is your resume. I think that's the number one thing is to focus on, paying attention to the detail.
Sure.
Going through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Spelling, grammar.
Exactly. If you say you have a high attention to detail, make sure you're checking that resume.
Well, that's a good point. Spell check and grammar check are wonderful.
Important.
They're important.
Yeah.
But even with that, I think it's good to have some human intelligence that is kind of that next step in the artificial intelligence, because we all know. You can spell 2 3 different ways.
Sure.
And grammar might pick it up, but spell check may not, because it's spelled correctly.
Right.
It's just the wrong use of the word to.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So if you asked me to read your resume, I'd read it.
On top of resume, though, I think another thing that's really important is dressing for the part. Right. Dressing up, making sure that you are. Dressing for success. And I know people say that and it sounds cheesy, but it's true. You want to make your first impression with the company. Right?
Absolutely.
Making sure that you have proper attire,
Well, and look, here's the other thing too. Oftentimes the first time you buy a suit is typically at college graduation.
Right.
And it's usually a graduation gift. You're going to go out into the world. You have this great degree. So here's the downside to a new suit if you've never owned a suit before, is we've seen it on more than one occasion where there's a tag on your wrist that says the name of the suit, and it just somehow doesn't get taken off before you wear the suit.
Right.
It'd be like wearing a sales tag on your collar. It's not good.
It's not good.
So
Yes, just be cognizant,
Right.
Be aware.
Be aware.
Yeah.
Be aware.
Yep.
That's Yeah, God, I tell you, I mean, it always just amazes me. You know, how about as far as, so we have, the resume, covered, and back on the resume, I mean, 1 sheet, 2 sheets, 12.
1 sheet.
1 sheet.
Try and fit it onto 1 sheet. Make it as streamlined as possible. People who are looking at resumes,
Right.
they don't want to read. They don't want to read a novel. They want to see clear-cut bullet points of what you've done.
Exactly.
Education, obviously, you're just graduated. It's exciting. So make sure you highlight that.
You should start with that at the top, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And on GPA, I think my personal preference, if you have a 3.2 and above, put it on the resume. If you have a 3.2 and below, I guess that'd be a 3.19 technically.
Yeah.
And below,
right.
Leave it off.
Sure, I agree.
If you are a scholarship recipient, add those scholarships to your resume.
Yep.
It shows a pattern of success, from high school straight through.
Right.
Right. I think that's important.
Yep.
So we have the resume kind of covered. We talked about on campus interviews. We need on campus interviews for practice, and we need to wear a suit or appropriate clothing.
Right.
And we use the suit as just kind of an example.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can wear whatever you want as long as it's professional.
Yeah.
And you don't have tags on them.
Right.
Outward tags.
Yep.
Bad.
I always say dress up more than what you would expect. It's better to go into an interview dressed up.
Absolutely.
First, and you can laugh about it. Say you walk into an interview and somebody's wearing Nikes.
Right.
You can laugh about it.
It's
you're wearing some nice loafers.
I came in overdressed for the part.
Yeah.
We have clients that have told us over the years that whatever they interview, the person they interview they see in that interview, they subtract 50% because that's really what they're buying long term.
Yeah.
Because everybody always dresses up the best for that interview. So you might don't wear a tuxedo. I mean, that'd be stupid. I mean,
no ruffles.
Yeah, no ruffles.
No blue ruffles. No.
What about green?
No.
Still bad.
Neither.
No ruffles, no tuxedos. But okay, but it's a good point.
Right.
But understand that the person that's talking to you mentally is looking down the road at month 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
And that doesn't mean go out and spend $10,000 at Nordstrom or another. By the way, Nordstrom is not a sponsor of this. If they were, we'd have better equipment. But since I mentioned it, I have to. That's a disclaimer. Yeah. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
You can shop smartly and have clothing that's appropriate, for the business environment.
Right.
Okay, so recap again from the top. We've practiced our interviews on campus. It's free and it's easy. Just put a name on a piece of paper and sign up. They'll call you. It's genius.
Right.
Resume 1 page. Dress for success. Dress for Success is not a sponsor also, by the way, but we got that.
Yeah.
And then I think some of the things I personally look, and you can chime in on this. If your interview starts at 10 o'clock, first of all, back that bus up a second. If your interview's tomorrow and it's tomorrow and you have the address, drive to the place the night before.
Yep. Know
where you're going. Understand traffic, because whatever can go wrong. First of all, you're angsty anyway. You're nervous. And then all of a sudden, you're trying to find a building you've never been to. Go the night before. Figure out where you're going. Figure out where parking is.
Yep.
Right?
And it's a big one.
It's a big one. And understand, where you're going.
Right.
So
that ties into prep.
Does tie into prep.
Oh my gosh, prep is so important.
Walk me through prep. What do you think?
So prep with any candidate that I'm working with, if we have an interview for them, we prep. We spend 30 minutes, just us, talking about the position, talking about the company. I suggest every single time that you have an interview that you are reading about the company. You're getting to know who you're interviewing with. If you know the name of the person, do a LinkedIn search. Find out a little bit more about them. The more you know, the more prepared you are, the more impressed that interview is.
And that person interviewing with you could be an alum.
Right.
They could have gone to the same
Exactly.
university that you've just graduated from, studied the same subject matter.
Common ground.
Common ground.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then along with the that prep. So you've prepped for the company.
Right.
Now we've dressed you. We've done the interview. You've learned how to do a few interviews, and then you go and you've researched. You know, and the reason research is important is this is a career, right? This may not be your forever career. That's not necessarily a realistic notion, but it is the building block that will catapult you through life. And so, what you learn in this first, real world position is important. And so you want to, to your point, you want to be prepared.
Yeah.
And then you've driven to the building, where you're going to interview with, where you're going. So then it comes down to, when do I show up for the interview?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just, for make believe, your interview's at 10 o'clock the next morning. I'm thinking 10 minutes ahead of time.
10 minutes.
No
that
more.
That is a perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Time. And I will say, timing-wise,
right?
Showing up late, obviously, don't show up late to your interview.
Right.
Don't show up too early either, because I've heard that it could throw the person interviewing you off. Maybe they have plans or they're in another meeting. You want to make sure that you're there. 10 minutes is the ideal.
Exactly.
Range.
It's not a concert. You're not sleeping outside in your sleeping bag.
Exactly.
Waiting to be the first one in to get the best seat.
Right.
You already have a seat. They're already expecting you.
Exactly.
And the other side of it is, again, to your point, Mary, is you have to get there too early. You have front desk staff. They don't know what to do with you.
Right.
It's awkward. And then that person that's going to interview you, they have to then stop what they're doing.
Feel rushed.
They feel rushed.
Potentially.
And so it actually, too early plays against you.
Yeah.
If you're late, that's as bad.
That's bad.
That's as bad. I mean, I don't think there's anything good that comes from being late.
No.
And so then you're in the interview. Okay, so we're back. We're
rewinding.
We're back.
You're in the waiting room. You're waiting for the person who's interviewing.
I know where you're going. I like this.
Please don't be on your cell phone. I know it's a world of technology. Everyone's on their phone. Right. I'm on Facebook all the time. We're on YouTube.
Right.
But just, if there's reading material in the lobby, pick up a magazine, maybe just look over your resume to kind of continue preparing.
Right. Good.
That's
good
really
call.
important. And the person at the front desk is the first person that's going to see you for the company.
Absolutely.
It's so important to be just be kind to everybody, professional.
They will make or break, because what will happen, again, is the interview's over. That interviewer is going to come out to the front and ask 100% of the time, how was Bob or Sally?
Right.
Were they kind to you? Because what will happen is, if they aren't kind in the front and they're super nice in the interview, how they really were in the front is who that person is.
Right.
And so,
that'll stick.
It completely sticks.
Yeah.
And so that's great advice. The other thing is, do not bring coffee or a sandwich or a bagel
or a pizza box. I've had that happen before.
Yeah, no pizza. To the interview.
Yeah.
We actually years ago had now we've taken it down because the title wasn't so great. We did a YouTube presentation like this called Creamer.
Right,
okay.
Right.
We had a lot of hits, by the way, on this. But the topic was coffee in the interview. We're not Starbucks. Again, not a sponsor. We'd have better equipment. But it's not. We're not in a. It's a professional dialogue. And so what you don't want, and look, these are things we've seen, and these are also typically the folks that sadly don't get employed.
Right.
Is they come in, they put their lunch on the desk, they put their coffee on the desk. It's not the candidate that we're looking to hire internally or externally for our clients. And so we're trying to help you not fall into those pitfalls. And our society is pretty casual.
Right.
I mean, it's not like it was 50 years ago. So we have a lot of things have gotten loose, and so those I think that message gets a little blurred sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
And they aren't teaching you this in school. This is not the stuff that that professors are conveying to help you in life. They're teaching a subject matter, but not the what next, right?
Yeah.
And so there's that.
Yeah. So no pizza.
No pizza.
Don't bring that.
No. And if you do, you should share. But
just don't do it.
Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to everything I've said up till this point, but except for the pizza.
Exactly.
Don't bring pizza.
Right.
The other thing I think is to go in prepared with thought out questions.
100%.
You need to ask questions from the person that's conducting the interview. If they say, let's recap. You're right out of school. You've just graduated. You've taken the tags off your suit. You've written a resume. You've learned how to interview.
You've eaten your pizza before the interview.
You've eaten your pizza before the interview. You know where you're going. So all these things are the build-up. This is a career, right? You've been in training for 4, in some cases 5 years to finish your degree. So this is your career, your first opportunity. It's amazing how many people don't have questions.
Yes.
This is a place you're going to go to 8 to 5,
right.
Monday through Friday, and even maybe on the weekends. You have to have a question.
And you have to remember that even, they're interviewing you, but you're also interviewing them.
It's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street. Like John said, you're going to be there 40
Right.
hours plus a week. You want to know more about the company and what you're going to be doing. You're interviewing them just as they're interviewing you.
Exactly. And without questions, you can't make an informed decision.
Exactly.
You don't know if this is the right career for you or the right company.
Right.
And if you don't ask questions, that company doesn't think you're interested.
Right.
And so
it's happened. I've seen it. I mean, I've seen it before with, people that I've had go out on interviews. They'll have the skill set, or the degree that the company is looking for. They'll think they're great, but if you're not asking questions, you're not showing that you're interested. So that makes them question, well, I liked them, but did they like us? They didn't ask any questions.
Exactly. And also to that point, when you meet the person that's interviewing you, have a real handshake.
Yes.
Eye contact, handshake. Thank them for their time to see you and to explore this opportunity.
Exactly.
And because it all starts, these are all little incremental steps. By the way, we didn't ask ahead of time. It would be really helpful to take notes. You could rewatch this. But we're kind of giving you the keys to the test.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
So again, we have we've suited up, we've practiced interviewing, we have our resume, we've prepped, we've gone the night before, we've had a firm handshake, eye contact, we have had pre-prepared questions, and even if they say, do you have any questions, they've covered them all, deep dive back into one of the questions that you had.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that a lot too. I didn't ask the questions because they already answered them.
Right.
They're going to answer a lot of them, but like you said, just dig deeper. Go back when you said this.
Exactly.
What does this mean? Dig more into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The other thing that's happened in society and interviews is there's a little bit of a casualness.
Yes.
Our recommendation, if you're in the interview and it's going well, and this just seems like the career that makes sense, let the interviewer know you're interested. Ask for the job. Because most people will think that they're just cool enough that company's going to call them back.
Right.
And that's just not the case.
Yeah.
It's not squeezy juice soccer anymore. It's like we're in adult land. And you have to ask for the job.
Yeah.
Because the person that asks for the job is more interested. It could be something like this. We're role playing.
Right.
God, Mary, thank you so much for your time today. Based on everything we've talked about, I am sincerely interested in working for you and for this company. I understand there's a process. But that being said, if you were to offer me the position right now today, I would accept.
Nailed it.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Now you could go back and say all of that. And by the way, can you tell me what to expect next? What is your process?
What is next steps?
What are the next steps?
Right.
And then, then it kind of sets, your expectation. But again, it also lets that company know that you're interested.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
that's great.
Yeah. So the interview's over. We've done great. We've shaken hands. We've asked for the job. And then what, Mary? What comes next?
Thank you note.
Yes.
Okay, this is old school. People love emailing, people love texting, but I think a handwritten thank you note is just the best.
100% of the time. Absolutely.
You know, it makes you stand out. It
and,
really does.
and reference something in the interview in the thank you.
Right.
You know, so that company doesn't think you've hand scribed 50 thank you notes that are all the same.
Yeah, you have them in your folder just ready to pass out.
Just ready to go.
Yeah.
So have something like, hey, by the way, I really enjoyed learning about the new innovation that your company is launching in the spring.
Right.
Something that is tied back to that meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's perfect.
That's
handwritten thank you notes.
Exactly. Let's talk about salary for a second. Sometimes it's a difficult topic for everybody, actually.
Yeah.
But especially coming out of school, it's a question that you aren't prepared for.
Right.
And typically the scenario is, well, geez, Mary, what are you looking to start at?
And then you go blank.
And you go blank.
And you don't know what to do.
Right.
Do I say too much? Do I say too little?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The answer that makes the best sense is, well, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed with you. I know your company is fantastic. I've spent a lot of time doing some pre-research before today. And for the position that you're hiring for, I'm sure you'll make the best possible offer you can, based on the skills you're looking for.
Right.
And then you put it back in that client's lap, let them figure out, where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because labor laws have changed, a lot. And companies can no longer see what your previous history was.
Right.
They can't ask what your previous earning history was. They can ask what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And so let's just say, for easy math, you say, well, I want to earn $3 an hour. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, maybe their budget was $9 an hour and they just paid you $3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or let's just say you say, I want to earn $9 an hour. And
their budget's $7.
And their budget's $7. And then they think, God, it's $7. They'll never be interested. And so because they don't want to embarrass themselves, they don't make the offer. When in reality, $7 would have been fine.
Right.
And so you want to keep it pretty even. Now, once that salary is offered and you were thinking, for whatever reason that your skill set is greater or whatever, then you can negotiate. But until you have a starting point,
right,
there's no negotiating point.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Great advice.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any questions? Wait, you can't call in. But if you wanted to, you can send an email to, what email should we use today? Happilyplaced.
Happilyplaced.
At emeraldstaffing.com.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be happy to address those questions or concerns, both as a specific email back to you, or we can certainly bring it up on our next episode of Happily Placed.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
great
for today.
Yeah, I think it's been good.
That's great.
Hopefully this has helped. I'm excited to be a part of this and help you guys with your new careers.
Congratulations, graduates.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.